Well, I got to admit, it was weird for me not being here and having history of the hymns last Wednesday, so we'll try to make up for it. I won't do two songs for you, so don't worry. But anyway, I thought about this all week, and I thought, this isn't really tied in, but I have to include it because maybe the Lord put it on my heart. How many of you have ever been to Arlington National Cemetery? Anybody? Washington, D.C.? No? Miss Robin has. Who has? Miss Robin has. Well, one of the things that I was last there way back in 1980 because we were on our senior trip at Chilhowie High School, and I didn't think much about it at the time, but there's Bible verses all over those buildings, believe it or not. Go look up the Supreme Court building even has Bible verses there. And here's what I think is a blessing about that. They etched it in granite. You got to tear the building down. But I will tell you that when I was at, now the Arlington National Cemetery has nothing to do with the history of the hymns, but I kept thinking about this, couldn't get it out of my mind all week. At the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, they guard it 24 hours a day, rain, snow, whatever. And engraved on the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, it says this: known but to God, because we don't know the names of those heroes that are entombed there. And I thought about that tonight. Doesn't have anything specifically to do with the history of the hymns, but we really, the song we'll try to do tonight, we have no clue who wrote it. So the author of the hymn is known but to God, quite frankly. But it also spotlights not just this hymn, but I guess you'd call it a genre of hymns, and that is what we call American spirituals. Some call them Negro spirituals and that kind of thing. Some call them slave songs. And this song really falls in that category. And I was talking to Mom. She had an appointment up the road this week. We were talking about spirituals. I asked her if she'd heard this song, and she hadn't. And she said, "Have you ever noticed the cadence of some of those songs?" And I said, "No, Mom, I don't think I have." And she educated me a little bit. She said, well, when they would get out on the field and sing these songs, they were doing repetition in their work. And so this developed a little cadence or a rhythm for them and that kind of thing. And I also found this out when I looked this up, that there's a lot of repeats in these. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. And there's all kinds of repeats. And I found out the reason that was many of these folks were illiterate. They couldn't write down the words. They had to memorize them. So those repeats helped everybody in the field gather around. Think about this. Most of the hymn writers in this, as I say, genre of hymns, many of them never went to church. Many of them never had a church. Many of them never gained freedom. Many of them owned nothing, not even the clothes on their back. Whoever they worked for provided those things. Yet they still, a group of them still was absolutely, positively sold out to the Lord. Enough to write down some of these songs. So these unnamed hymn writers of yesteryear, we don't know how many hymn writers there were. We don't know who they were. I can tell you two things that I learned about it. Most of these songs came out of the South because that's where the farms were. I like this too. A lot of these African spirituals came out of the Appalachian Mountains. A lot of farms in this area. Wayfaring Stranger, we did that some time back. They were pretty sure that came out of the Appalachian Mountains. Not sure it was a spiritual. But the preacher's going to love this. He's getting ready to smile, so go ahead and look at him. I looked up in the United States Library of Congress, preacher, and it said that these songs are officially called spirituals because of Ephesians 5:12 in the King James Bible. That's what it says. And that, I think it's 5:12, says, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. So these songs were called spiritual. They came from the heart. They came out of hard times. They came from hard labor. As we said, it had a unique cadence to it. Some of the songs, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Ezekiel Saw the Wheel. Man, the preacher would like that because he's preached on Ezekiel 1 several times. Roll, Jordan, Roll, When the Saints Go Marching In. That largely got secularized, but that started out as a spiritual song with those Christians early in that day. Many, many, many more. So tonight we're going to focus on a song that's called Down to the River to Pray. And let me say that as folks has looked at the lyrics of this song, they're pretty sure, they're not positive, but they're pretty sure that the author or authors of this song were talking about after salvation when you go down in the river and prepare your heart for that baptism. Not to be saved. You're already saved if you're going down there. But just to go down there and witness that and be together as a church, if you will. These folks, a lot of them were that lived on these plantations, they were their own church. But anyway, I'll do my best tonight. Now, if I move my hand or pat my foot, I'm trying to keep time. I'm not trying to be showy or anything. But listen, I just pray you'll like this old song and just think about that bygone era and these wonderful saints of God who wrote these songs, and they're forever in heaven if they were truly born again. So this is Down to the River to Pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down. Let's go down. Don't you want to go down? Come on, brothers, let's go down. Down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, mothers, let's go down. Let's go down. Don't you want to go down? Come on, mothers, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, fathers, let's go down. Let's go down. Don't you want to go down? Come on, fathers, let's go down. Down in the river to pray. Lift up your heads, Emmanuel's friends, and taste the pleasure Jesus sends. Let nothing cause you to delay, but hasten on the good old way. Oh, sinners, let's go down. Let's go down. Don't you want to go down? Oh, sinners, let's go down. Down in the river to pray.